Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be looking at an article from CNBC that was published on July 3rd. It's written by Megan Graham. And the thing is, and I talked about this in a video that I did last week. Came out actually I think last Sunday. So technically this week as we're recording this video, beginning of this week. Where I talked about I just want companies to just sell me my shit, sell me my Coke or sell me this or sell, my Coca-Cola or sell me that, just sell me my shit. Leave politics out of it. Politics has nothing to do with business. Well, they're now, because of, you've had this invasion of this far left progressive identity politics bullshit through like HR and affirmative action hires, we'll say. To where you have people that are ideologically driven running these companies now. And because they control the advertising dollar purse, those people who now want to take companies and make them fucking political, as in go woke, go broke, and don't get it, they're now looking at the fact of they're going to push social media to censor people. And it's basically come down to the fact of, because the way they're framing hate speech and all that, anyone that goes against the left political ideology, hate speech. Trump supporters, hate speech. Trump, hate speech. They want anyone who's right of fucking Karl Marx to be removed from social media before they'll put their money back in. That's disgusting. And it needs to stop. Just sell me my fucking computer. Just sell me my goddamn, soda. Just sell me this. Sell me that. Shut the fuck up. I don't care what your politics are. If I do, I might not buy the product from you because you know what? I'm not going to buy from a company that's being fucking political when you're there to make money. You should ultimately be answering to your stockholders. And that's what the stockholders should be saying. With all these companies pulling out right now, the stockholders should be holding those companies accountable, getting a meeting together, okay, and voting on what's going on. Those with voting stock and saying, hey, assholes, you're fucking my bottom line. Because Trump supporters make up like half the country, assholes. You're going to alienate half of the people who buy your product that I've invested in your company to make money off of, with stock. That needs to happen because these companies need to be brought back into fucking check. They need to understand that they're answerable to their stockholders, and their stockholders are going to be, hey, assholes, you're bankrupting me. Or at least they should be. Anyway, the CEO of a major advertising trade group says the Facebook boycott is a turning point. Yeah, he thinks this is a good thing. He's calling for the fucking censorship of online. Okay, this is corporatism right here. This is corporatism mixed in with the far left Marxist identity politics bullshit. Excuse the fireworks, recording this on the 4th. My neighbors are assholes. They're like basically right outside my fucking place. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind fireworks. It's just the fact of where I live, not actually conducive to setting them off if you don't want to set shit on fire. Anyway, key points. World Federation of Advertisers CEO Stephen Lork says he believes the slew of big brand publicity brands publicly switching off social media advertising aren't likely to come back until real change is made. Oh, well, some of them are virtue signaling, don't get me wrong, but it's the HR people and the other people that have been brought in with their far left views that are pushing for this shit to happen internally in the company that are saying, we need to listen to these people. We need to listen to this minority of society. That's what they're doing. I don't see those big brands coming back if there hasn't been structural change, he says. Yes, basically, they want the left's idea of hate speech and everything else to be enforced because the people in the company that have these left policies, okay, like HR and everything else, because HR got these other people in these positions that buy into that shit because HR is going to tend to be far lefties. That they're only going to promote, allow for the promotion of far lefties. They're only going to allow for the fact of far lefties to come into a company. And now the chickens have come home to roost with that shit. These companies are like committing suicide, financial suicide. Where are the stockholders? I mean, this has nothing to do with hate speech. This has to do with the fact that there's an election in November, and this stop hate fucking shit looks at the fact of you've got the ADL who literally will call Jewish people fucking Nazis because they don't align with their lefty bullshit. yeah, you have a fucking problem there. So that's who's behind this stop hate for profit fucking hashtag bullshit. One of the groups. Anyway, World Federation of Advertisers CEO Stephen Lorick says he believes the slew of big brands publicly switching off social media advertising aren't likely to come back until real change is made. I don't see those big brands come back if there hasn't been structural change, Lorick said in an interview with CNBC. That's my take on the basis of my conversations with them. So basically, what you're saying is the far left idiots have somehow managed to take control of these large corporations, and yeah, they're going to ignore their stockholders. Good to know, because I'm sure their stockholders are not going to like the fact of the hurt to their bottom lines with this identity politics, far left fucking bullshit being used, followed by the companies. Again, excuse the fireworks. The trade group's 120 members, which include PepsiCo, P&G, and Diageo, represent 90% of global marketing communications spending, the group says. Okay, 120 members, 90%. All right, well, how many of those 120 members in your trade group are actually for this shit? In a recent survey of 58 of those companies, the WFA found that 31% of the respondents had already decided to withhold or were likely to withhold social media advertising. 41% said they were undecided, and 29% said they were unlikely or not planning to. Now, this is what's funny. 58 companies, only 31% of the 58 companies said that they were for this. 41% said they were undecided because they're trying to figure out whether or not they want to take a knee to the outrage mob, whether they want to cuck, whether they want to bow down, okay, and be ruled over by these people. And then there's the 29%, which I want to know what they are, because shit, I might, if I don't buy their products, I'm probably going to end up buying their products, because if those companies right there deserve your money. Those companies that aren't bowing down to the leftist outrage mob, that 29%, they deserve your money. That 31%, they don't deserve a fucking penny. Go woke, go broke. The undecided, what they need to see, that 41%, they need to see that, hey, the people who are telling you not to are going to spend money. The people who are telling you that you need to do this shit, don't buy your product. That's the problem. See, most of these lefties don't buy these products. Yet they've convinced these fucking companies to pull this shit. It's so funny. All right. Coca-Cola. How many lefties, with their soy milk drinking and all that other shit, and their hipster coffee drinking and shit like that. How many of them do you actually think drink Coca-Cola? A small amount, but yet Coca-Cola cucked and took a knee to them. I mean, this is ridiculous. But that 29% of companies, those 29% of companies of the 58, which would be, let's say, 20% would be almost 20 companies, right? No. 25%. No, 15 companies would be 25%. So those 16 companies will say, we need to know who they are so we can give them our money. The survey comes as major advertisers from Unilever to Starbucks have announced various degrees of pauses in their social media advertising budgets following a campaign called Stop Hate for Profit by a group of organizations calling on advertisers to boycott Facebook for the month of July. Yeah, ADL, shit like that. All these companies, all right, I should say all these organizations, they're never Trump, conservatives are racist fucking companies. Organizations. ADL. If you're right of Karl Marx, you're a fucking racist, you're a Nazi, you're this, you're that. They're one of the big ones pushing this shit. The same ADL that's supposedly a Jewish organization that will call Jews who don't fall in line with their shit Nazis. Keep that in mind. When they're literally calling, their fellow members of the tribe Nazis because they don't agree with them. Although Facebook has spent recent weeks trying to stanch the departure of ad dollars with meetings and memos, an address from CEO Mark Zuckerberg to employees reported by the information on Wednesday suggested the company doesn't plan to make changes based on demands of advertisers. And you don't like that. See, Zuckerberg knows they need to go and sell their product. They need to advertise. They control one of the largest places for advertising. Besides, say, Google with YouTube and AdWords and everything, and AdSense and everything else. Okay. Zuckerberg knows he's the one who's got the strength right now. These companies going, oh, well, we're going to pull our advertising. Well, he's got billions of dollars in his pocket. Besides, I'm sure the company has billions of dollars in its coffers. It can wait this out. These companies, they don't have that ability. They don't have that luxury because they are eventually going to have their stockholders go, whoa, 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 asshole, sales are down, fuck you. And they'll have a meeting and they could vote to say, fuck you, get the president out, of the company. They could vote him out. The CEO, bye. They could do that. And they don't want that to happen. And Zuckerberg knows that right now he's in a position of strength. And they don't like the fact that he knows he is. Zuckerberg reportedly said that though the boycott posed reputational issues, his guess was that all these advertisers would be back on the platform soon enough. Yes, because they need to advertise. They need to sell product. So of course they're going to. Come back. Lurk told CNBC that he's aware temporary pauses aren't likely to ding Facebook financially, but that they are a signal of a larger sea of change in how companies are thinking about social media. He said even many of these companies that aren't pausing have said they are determined to find solutions to issues posed by social media. There are no issues with social media. The only issue with social media is the left does not like the fact that the right dominates on it because they are able to do spicy memes. They are able to, organized that way. They are able to go online and counter the left's bullshit. They are able to go out there, okay, and basically discuss issues. They're able to go out there and give their point of view. They're able to go out there and say something counter to the left's narrative, to the Democrat narrative, to the globalist narrative, to the BLM narrative now. And they don't like that. So the idea is like with the Stop Hate for Profit thing, is they want to silence those voices that go against anything that's right of fucking Karl Marx. They want Trump with this type of thing. Well, we're going to pull our money unless you censor Trump. That's what actually some of these companies had said, which Twitter can't do that. Twitter was actually had these companies say that. Well, we want Trump censored. Well, Twitter can't do that. President court case can't happen, but they want it to happen. They want people who are right of Karl Marx on YouTube to be censored. They want people on Facebook that are right of Karl Marx to be censored. Which these companies should realize with how much that narrows down their market, they're fucking themselves because, people right of Karl Marx aren't bad. Okay? The alt-right LARPing fucking, all the LARPing alt-right aren't even right. They're on the left. They want the same exact shit that the far left does. They want the socialism. They just think that non-whites make it so that it won't work. They're like, we get rid of the non-whites, it'll just work. That doesn't make them right. That makes them left. That's why the leftists try to push them onto the right and say they're the alt-right. They're not right. They want the same shit as the left. They are the left. They're just racist left. Identitarian racist left. But, hey, they just group everyone right of Karl Marx. And then those people too. Because that's the only way the left can win. Is by labeling everything that goes against what they want hate speech. If big brands withdraw, like they seem to be withdrawing for a month or a few months, it's probably not going to be making any dent in the ad revenue of Facebook, he said. I don't think the point of view which those brands express have a certain weight in the industry, and I think that in the longer term, they will have an importance for social media. They will have an importance for social media platforms. Well, the thing is, if they don't have any weight, then why is this an issue? Why are you making it sound like this is a big thing and that it's actually going to cause change? He said he's also skeptical brands will just jump back to the platform if no changes are made. Bullshit. They did when YouTube pulled when the first ad apocalypse happened. Okay, which they mention in this, and they go, oh, well, these extremist videos, and they're trying to say terrorism, where most of them were like, it was like PewDiePie's fucking jokes and shit like that. People right of Karl Marx, that they weren't going, oh, yeah, white supremacists and racist if they were talking about illegal immigration. Oh, that's a white supremacist. Shit like that. That was like the first ad apocalypse type shit. They mention it here. But yeah, that really didn't change. And they came back. So, whatever. From the conversations I'm having with the brands, those which went public in order to state they were going to be pausing are very aware that they made those statements publicly. And they're also very aware that the same media who actually took note of that decision will be asking questions the day they restart, he said. I think those brands which have been public are serious about driving change collectively. No, they're fucking idiots, because they honestly thought if they virtue signaled publicly, it would get them more sales. And they could actually cut spending. But they're actually going to find out that their stockholders are not going to be happy with this, and they're going to have to go back to these platforms because they have to keep the stockholders happy. They are answerable to the stockholders. They're not answerable to the general fucking public. The people who own stock in the company are the ones that company has to represent, ultimately. So guess what? When they piss off the stockholders to a certain point because their stock is down, the company's profits are down, their profitability is cratering, yeah. They're going to go back to advertising on those platforms and go, oops, we made a mistake. We did a boo-boo. Mark my words on that one. See, this is what this idiot doesn't want to admit. He runs an organization that handles that with their advertising and shit, but he doesn't want to admit that they're ultimately responsible to answer to their stockholders. And that ultimately that will drive their decision. But he doesn't get that. Societal safety. Advertisers have been pressuring the platforms to clean up for years. In 2017, the Times of London published a blockbuster report on advertisements from major brands appearing on hate sites and YouTube's videos created by supporters of terrorist groups. Consumer good giant Procter & Gamble kept its ads off YouTube for more than a year, starting in 2017 after its ads were found adjacent to extremist videos. I love this. They're grouping this all together. This is the first ad apocalypse. This was the fucking PewDiePie shit. Okay, this was the first ad apocalypse, which this bullshit about terrorist videos was debunked. People went through, found these supposed terrorist videos, which is a very small minority, and they literally had to sit there and refresh until they finally got a fucking ad from one of these companies. Okay, just like the people who were supposedly reporting on it that were being activists did in order to fucking create their narrative. So, yeah, they created a news story where there was none. They went to videos that had like 300 views that were supposedly, terrorist videos and went, look, I saw advertising dollar. I saw a commercial from Coke. I saw a commercial from Procter & Gamble's products. After they refreshed like 50 or 100 fucking times or 1,000 times to get to that point where they saw something like that. But Lurk said the issue morphed from one of brand safety to focus more on societal safety, exasperated perhaps by the streaming last year of a shooting of more than 50 people in Christchurch, New Zealand, which appeared on Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit. Yeah, and none of them went through the bullshit that Gab did, okay? Gab had, was getting calls for them to be shut down. They were more than cooperating with the FBI with it too, all right? With giving the information. All right. And they were, because he had posted there. Did Facebook or Twitter or any of them get called to be shut down? No. Another shooting outside of a synagogue in Halle, Germany was amplified last year when a video of it appeared on video streaming site Twitch and then found its way onto other sites. Now, this is what's fucked up. They're saying, well, even if these videos aren't being advertised, they're newsworthy. They are fucking newsworthy. There should be a public record of them because they are newsworthy. They're saying, well, because the advertising dollars run these companies, they should just censor them, even though they don't have ads on them. So now these companies are now saying that they should have domain, even though they're not advertising on videos, these videos, they should have full domain over what is on the platform. But even if ads aren't appearing in or alongside specific videos, the video platforms are financed substantially by ad dollars. And since so much of the web is funded by advertisers, many of those advertisers say they have responsibility for the web. No, your responsibility is to put your fucking advertising money in for fucking commercials. All right? You don't see them saying, if the legacy media showed something on the news that was reprehensible, because they used to do that. Did you see them, because it was in the name of showing news. All right. Our views don't necessarily represent those of the advertisers. That used to be good enough. All right. That used to be good enough. Did you see them when the legacy media used to do something like that? Did you see them saying, we're going to pull our advertising? No. But anyone who talks about, say, illegal immigration or anything like that, they want their advertising pulled from them. Well, go woke, go broke. And this guy, he's supposed to be representing these companies and with their advertising dollars and everything else. It's an organization like that. You think he'd be the voice of reason going, we shouldn't be kicking to the outrage mob. They're saying anyone right of Karl Marx is bad. No, he's pushing this shit. You don't have a responsibility for the web. Okay, these platforms are supposed to be platforms. That's why they get Section 230 protection. If you want them to do what you want them to do, then they should have to sign away their Section 230 protection because they're no longer an independent platform. You're dictating what they can and can't do. That makes them and you're telling them they have to choose what they allow on the platform. That makes them a publisher. So go right ahead. If you want this, well then fine. You make them sign away their Section 230 protection and declare themselves publishers. Very simple. Because that's the only way this is going to fly. If you ask me. With the people. You want them to be able to silence people because advertising dollars dictate, then yeah, that's how you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to take responsibility, and they're going to have to take responsibility for the fact that, hey, they're no longer platforms. Simple enough. All of this has created a turning point, Lurk said, moving from an area of media being all about efficiency and effectiveness and reach to one where the allocation of media spend is a strategic dimension. So basically what you're saying is companies should now be activists, you piece of shit. Good to know. The way you allocate your media spend, where you put your ads, talk about your company, he said. We move from brand safety to, I think, societal safety. No. Just sell me my fucking Coca-Cola. Just sell me my Mountain Dew. Just sell me my Sunkist or, my Fanta or like any other fucking soft drink out there, okay? Dr. Pepper, whatever. Just sell me that shit. Don't tell me what my politics should be. Don't say I should be silenced because of my politics. Go fuck yourself. You don't want my money, all right? Fine. I won't give it to you. But on the same note, don't fucking tell me what I can and cannot say, you pieces of shit. What comes next? Lork said he believes operators in the ecosystem, including the social media platforms, have an interest in mitigating hateful speech and content. They're platforms. They shouldn't be mediating anything, mediating, or doing anything like that. But the way it's done now, he says, is unsustainable and inefficient, with platforms, agency holding companies, and brand owners, each with their own policies, values, and tools. So, look, he's got a solution for this, basically. Watch this. That leads to plenty of operators which operate in good faith, but a system which is simply unscalable and inefficient, he said. The only way to address this is to find a system and put it in place, a system which is across the ecosystem, which will allow brand owners to make informed choices about where they put their ads. How about you just sell your advertising fucking dollars and they put a fucking disclaimer before your ad that says the views of this video, that this video's creator do not represent yours. Simple enough. That used to be simple enough. With advertising. All right. Well, a good example back in the day, say if you had an opinion, during the evening news, you had an opinion segment. All right. They would say that right off the bat, this does, the views of this person do not represent the station, the network, or our advertisers. And that was good enough. Now that ain't good enough for you fucking idiots. For whatever reason. Because somehow you still equate, even if it's randomly put there for an ad, that company is somehow saying that that's perfectly fucking acceptable. That's not how it works. He said for that to happen, 4 things need to be changed. Content needs to be standardized so that there's an alignment. For instance, in the definition of hate speech across entities, data needs to be collected about incidents of hate speech and other harmful content in a unified way. Third-party verification is needed instead of self-reported data, and tools that operate across the ecosystem that let brands act accordingly in their values. So basically, I'm guessing the ADL is who would get put in charge of keeping track of all this shit for some reason. Just makes sense. Those fucking scumbags would be. And yeah, basically they'll make it so anyone right of Karl Marx no longer is able to have any advertising or anything else or be on the platforms, because they'd be like, oh, hate speech, you got to remove it. And you'd still see YouTube and all them. They'd be cucking because they're lefties and they'd want to do it anyways. And it would go be like, well, but we're platforms. We're just curbing hate speech. When everyone right of Karl Marx has been removed. All right. And this idea of content standardization, basically what that comes down to, the nicest way to put that is they want you, me, and everyone else who makes content to be gone. They want corporate acceptable content to be on these sites. Because it's the only way you are going to standardize the content, is if it's put out by networks and shit like that. That's the only way you can do it. And I'm sure he knows that too. The World Federation of Advertisers last year created the Global Alliance for Responsible Media to tackle issues like this. Lork said the social media platforms have been working with GARM on these goals. So basically, if it ain't the ADL, he actually wants them to be the ones to be the arbiters. So he's trying to expand the reach of this group. So how convenient this aligns with him doing that. You know what I mean? I think the fact that pressure is increasing and that the public visibility of this has reached the level it has reached today, it is going to be helping accelerate our effort, he said. So basically, he wants to be the arbiter of going woke, go broke type shit. He wants to be the ones that dictate what goes on on these platforms. All right. He wants to be the ones that say who's it gets the advertising dollars. He wants to be the one that tells these websites, like YouTube and Facebook and that, what content can be on them, because, oh, they're working with us. He wants to be that guy. This is fucked up. This is some fucked up shit. And it's not business's responsibility to tackle these things. Business is there to make money. Sell me my fucking products and shut the fuck up. Go woke, go broke. You push your fucking ideology on me. I ain't going to buy from you. I'm going to buy from someone who's just going to sell me whatever the hell I want to buy. It's that simple. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.